smile on my face today. I'm here with my old mate Ryan Archer once again, obviously. How are you feeling today, mate?
Yeah, I'm all right, mate. It feels weird because usually when we do these on a Monday, we've played on a Saturday or something. The game was only yesterday, but yeah, I had a little extra spring in my step this morning going into work. Great victory. I watched the highlights when I got in last night, and it looks even better when you keep watching it over and over again. Great performance from the boys, and everyone's buzzing at the club at the moment.
I mean, the thing about that I've noticed in the press, and I don't mind this, right? I don't mind this at all. But all the talk is about how bad Man United were. Nobody's talking about how good West Ham were, and I don't think we was brilliant, but we was good enough to beat them. Obviously, nobody's, talking about the point that we're 2 points behind second. Nobody's talking about us at all. I like it like that. Do you?
Yeah, it's a good thing, mate. Go under the radar. Everyone seems to be talking about Leicester as well, breaking into the top. I think when you look at the Premier League, the top two's done. Man City and Liverpool in a battle. But from second down, it's anyone's this season. Anyone can break into that top four this season. Will it be West Ham? I don't know. It's going to be tough because we've got to be more consistent this season. But yeah, it's nice that that we're not being mentioned as much. But I'd like a little bit of praise from some pundits. The thing is, when you've got an ex-Man United player in the commentary box and you've got Roy Keane and Jose Mourinho in the studio, it's always going to be about Man United.
Yeah, this is what I mean. We've said this time and time again ever since sort of the Declan Rice stuff was going on, and you had all these pundits slating him and all that. They don't look at anything outside the top six. They just don't look at it, right? I'm happy with that, to be quite honest with you, because unless you've got a billionaire owner or signed some worldly superstar and all that, like when Man City did, they just don't speak about it. When I watched Match of the Day, showed the goals, then just spoke about how bad Man United were and how much they're in free fall. As you said, in the studio, Jose Mourinho and Roy Keane, both ex-Man United players. There's no sort of balance there.
No, I think Alan Shearer sort of praised us a little bit. To be fair, I mean, he did praise how well we played and we deserved the win. But yeah, it's always about Man United because Man United at the moment, they're not the Man United we all grew up watching. They're in a bad. They've been a bad run of form for a few years now, since Ferguson left. You all right there, mate?
Yeah, I'm just trying to. It's sort of not coming out this year, so the wires, but it's all right, Bob.
No, I was just going to say, yes, Man United at the moment are not the Man United we grew up watching. And look, as West Ham at the moment, the place is buzzing. You see all the fans yesterday, mate. I mean, you interviewed quite a few of them yesterday. I could see them. I was talking to a few off camera. So it's buzzing at the moment.
Ollie PRJ says, correct, Nicky, I haven't heard one person in the media or pundit give West Ham any credit at all. Andy Wall says, Sky and the BBC have a top six. Love it. This, to me, this is why sort of fan channels are so important, because they are top six lovings. Because when you think about who are broadcasting the game, it broadcast, like, we're not trying to sell our channel to anyone but West Ham fans. Simple as that. We want West Ham fans. We only talk about West Ham and all that sort of stuff. But obviously, we'll, talk a little bit about Man United and all that. But for a media company that is meant to be sort of unbiased and give coverage to everybody, they don't give coverage to everybody. They're always talking about the Liverpool. I mean, you see, like, as I said before, you look on the Sky Sports page, there could be matches going on, and their top stories about Liverpool or Man United or Chelsea or whatever. Always.
Yeah, I mean, you remember the season that Leicester won the league, mate. No one really in the give them a chance, and no one really started mentioning them until they got to about March, and they thought, oh, hang on a minute. Then April, and then Leicester went on to win the league. That's the thing with the pundits in this country. All they care about is, if a top six side loses, it's more focused on why they haven't won and how bad they've been, rather than giving praise to the other team. That's the problem with this country. It was the same with Norwich last week when they beat Man City.
But this is the thing, mate. Like, you know, when you talk about like, newspaper outlets, like Sky, BT, and all that, they talk about them because at the end of the day, the only reason that they're showing that stuff on TV is because they want to sell subscriptions to their channel. The way they sell subscriptions to their channel, as obviously, is keeping mostly, you know, the top 6 who have got the most fans in the conversation. That's how they feel like they're going to win. They don't try and win everybody over. You know what I mean? But they don't think about themselves. Yeah, all right, the top 6 have got a lot of fans, but the other 17 combined probably outweigh them fans. You know what I mean? Like they never think about that sort of thing, and they only and it's all focused to sell a Sky subscription or a newspaper or sell a subscription to a website. That is it. That's all they're interested in, and that's why even top 6 fan channels like, you know, Arsenal Fan TV, you know, we see the United Stand yesterday, West Ham Fan TV, all you know, across all the clubs. That's why they're so important, because they want to focus on their club. So if you want to get information and you know, and discussion, you know, look for a West Ham channel, because they're not going to give it to you in the mainstream.
Yeah, no, I agree, mate. And the thing is, if we keep doing what we're doing this season, West Ham keep performing, at some point they're going to have to start talking about us. They're going to have to start praising us, giving a bit more praise. And if we just keep, as we're saying, go under the radar, keep doing what we're doing, winning games, be amongst that top 6 come the end of the season, then who knows? You know, they've got to talk about West Ham.
This guy's name, I'm not going to like attempt to announce it. Somebody sent Nicky a pair of good headphones. Now these are cheap ones, mate. These are horrible ones, and they're not working properly. I've got loads around here. I just haven't found. Couldn't find them today. Evening, Nicky and Ryan. What are your predictions on the Oxford game on Wednesday? We'll talk about that later, T-Dog. I won't get into that just now. Because top 6, Ryan, is it a possibility?
Yeah, of course it is. As I said, mate, first and second is Liverpool and City. They're battling for the title. From third place down, mate, it's anyone's this season. You could have 2 brand new teams breaking into that top 4 this season. You could have a Leicester, a West Ham, an Everton, someone like that. Chelsea and United, as we see with yesterday, they're both beatable. Arsenal are a very mixed team at the moment. One minute they look like they're world class, and the next minute they're throwing away 2-0 leads at Watford. Yeah. It's so up in the air, and it's anyone's game this season. And as long as we can stay consistent, injuries are kind to us this season. There's no reason why we can't break into that top 6. And I think this is what the football club needs, is Europa League football, without a doubt. To
be honest with you, mate, even looking at the table now, it's so tight. So tight. It is, mate. Like down to 14th. Everton at 14th have got 7 points. So, you know, we're not a million miles away from anybody. So everybody seems to have beat everyone at some time. So, like, even the West Ham and the Leicesters and all that, you know, have had a good start to the season. You could be looking at someone like Bournemouth, who are, you know, just, you know, not too far away. Sheffield United have got 8 points. You know, people like that. You don't know about what might happen. But, you know, as I said before, let them keep on talking about the Man Cities, the Chelseas, the Arsenals, and all that sort of thing. And you know, and we'll focus on us, and, you know, take one game at a time, and we'll see how it goes.
The thing is, mate, we're so early into the season. It only takes 2 or 3 back-to-back wins, and you're right up the table. Look at Crystal Palace yesterday. They was winning 1-0. They were sitting 5th or 6th in the league. They conceded in the last minute. They dropped down to 12th. It's so tight. And as I said, West Ham now, touch wood, it doesn't happen, but we could not win a game in our next 5 or 6, and we could drop right back down. So it's exciting at the moment in the Premier League.
Macaulay French, here's a question for you. Do you think the Premier League has been as competitive as it is for a long time?
No, because at the moment, as we said, as it proved last week, mate, Norwich went and beat Man City. And then Norwich go and lose to Burnley, and Man City smash Watford 8-0. It's so open, this Premier League this season, and the thing is, every team has strengthened.
Yeah, I think it's more even than it's ever been, to be honest. Adam Norris says, great comment, Nicky. If you want a real review on the game, find a fan channel. Props to you for promoting all West Ham fan channels and not just your own. I always do, because it's not one or the other for me. You know what I mean? Like you don't turn around and say, "Oh, I'm only watching West Ham fan TV," or "I'm only watching Hammers Chat," or "I'm only listening to the West Ham fan." You know, some people do because they're pricks, but the normal people, we'll go and find all sorts of opinion. You know what I mean? Whether you agree with it or not.
I enjoy watching Hammers Chat. I like seeing what them boys have got to say. I like even going to watch the American Hammers because it's nice to see opinions from people that are not even in this country but still watch the game. So there's loads of West Ham content out there. I think as West Ham fans, I know some people moan about what we do and what other people do on their channels. But at the end of the day, it's your choice if you want to watch it. But I think it's great that you've got so much choice as a fan to go and see so many different opinions.
All right, we're getting this a lot, so we're going to have to answer this. Where is Dom?
He's having a break. He got a bit much abuse, and he just wants to have a little break.
The thing is,
fair play to him.
With Dom is, he's a character, and I've spoken to Dom over the last, couple of weeks, and since he's not been on the fan cams. There are some people that are just like too much in their abuse. You know what I mean? You can disagree with someone's opinion, you can agree with someone's opinion, but some people just take it too far. And he's got to a point where he's taken a couple of weeks off. And I'll be honest with you, he said to me a couple of days ago that he's enjoying being out of the limelight. So, I'll never know whether he's going to come back. If that's the case, these fucking idiots have won, in my opinion. Who are threatening to fucking punch his head in and all that sort of stuff. We've all seen it, Ryan. We've been there when it's happened and all that sort of thing. Outside Brighton. Brighton, outside Brighton, people fucking wanting to fight everyone and wanting to fight him and all that sort of thing. And it's for me, I don't understand it. It's his opinion, and people want to fight you over your opinion.
Yeah.
But people were standing around looking at him and threatening him. I see him down the town centre a bit later, putting their heads down as they walk past him. You know what I mean? So yeah, he's just taking a hiatus. He may never be back. Who knows? But we enjoy speaking to everyone. It's not just about Dom. I've spoke to Dom and I said to him, look, it's completely down to you. We're not pressuring him to come back. We'll see. We'll see what he says. DJ Blokey says, a positive for me is that we've got to win against one of the supposedly top 6 teams without playing at our best. Now we need to get the same results against the bottom half teams when we're not at our best. I think we made this point on post-match point, didn't we, Ryan? Is the fact that we haven't played brilliantly. Okay, Norwich, I wasn't here, so you can forgive me for saying that. But we haven't played particularly brilliantly, and everything clicked into place. I think there's still to come. I think the best is still to come, and that's a good thing when you're up there, and you are grinding out wins against some top clubs as well. I think that's good.
We said it at the beginning of the season, didn't we? We said that we've got to be more consistent this season, and the thing is, be consistent against teams around us as well. Look, we're going to lose games this season, we know, but it's how we bounce back and it's how quick we get a win after a loss. Because you go 2 or 3 losses in a row, the whole atmosphere around the club is going to change. At the moment, everyone's on a high. We've had a brilliant start of the season. You compare it to this time last year, we were 17th with 4 points. And that's a big improvement. And you look at our next few games, we've got Bournemouth away, Crystal Palace at home, and then we play teams like Newcastle at home, Everton away, Sheffield United at home. They're teams that we should be picking points up against. So, and then I think the only tough game we've got really out of that is Tottenham, and who knows what form they're going to be in, because we play Tottenham and Chelsea back to back away from home, which is going to be difficult.
Yeah, it will be difficult, but you don't know. We seem to turn up for them games. Dean Humphries, hi guys. With a former Mark Noble recently, do you think Noble has a chance of getting England call up? Dean, unfortunately, mate, I think unless there's some sort of injury crisis in the England squad, and I don't think he'll ever get an England call up, and that's a shame. Because he could have declared for Ireland and all that, and he always sort of hung his hat with the England camp, which you got to respect that as well. And the call never came. He's definitely worth a cap or two. When
the only chance I was going to say is in the last at the Boleyn that season. Now when England was crying out for a midfielder like him, and he never got the call up. So
the thing is, if Southgate would have been in charge, then I think he would have got the call up.
yeah, but I'm just happy watching Mark Noble in a West Ham shirt, mate. The way he's been playing lately, there's no since he's come back into the team, we ain't lost a game. Now I'm not saying it's all down to him, but he has made a huge difference in that midfield because he allows Declan Rice. He frees Declan Rice up a bit to get forward a bit more.
As you'll see with a lot of people, like when he gets to the age he is now, rest and recuperation is vital for a player like him. So I'm sure, even if he got the call up, I think he should. He'll probably play one or two, but I think he'd think twice about it because, as I said, at his age, rest and recuperation is, vital. Darren Jenkins was pleased for Cresswell. His best game for 3 years. If Cresswell can keep that form, he's 100% our left back. What else didn't help him was putting him in a back three. Done his confidence no good.
Yeah, I sort of agree. I mean, I watched back the performance yesterday when I got home, and yeah, he was unbelievable yesterday, Creswell. Back to his best. He's give sort of Pellegrini a headache now because Masuaku obviously was out of the team because he got sent off. He misses one game. What does he do now? Does he bring Masuaku back in, who was in good form, or does he stick with Aaron Creswell? For me, I think it'd be very harsh dropping Creswell after yesterday's performance. And that goal, I mean, that free kick was a worldie.
I watched it back. It was the only place he could put it, really.
Yeah, he had a great game yesterday, and it was good to see Aaron Creswell back because I do like Aaron Creswell. He's had a bad couple of seasons, injuries haven't helped, but no, it's good that we've got two fullbacks now that are battling. What happened now?
He's knocked the light over. Jamie, what are you doing, mate?
Oh, it's not his fault.
Okay. We should not be confident as the 14-15 season. We were third by Christmas. We came 12th at the end of the season. That is a good one by WHE videos. I remember that. That was Sam Allardyce's last season, though.
Yeah, I think the squad's in a much better position now. Squad-wise, we're in a much better position than when we was back then. And look, I don't think we're going to get Champions League football. I personally think that Europa League is the key for us.
I mean, Europa League is the key, but I'm going to go back to when we was in the Europa League. Getting to the Europa League, you suffer at the beginning of the season. We didn't even get in it, and we suffered at the beginning of the season. Burnley got in a Europa League, suffered in the league. Wolves this season got into the Europa League, suffering in the league. Even back to Leicester, won the league, got in the Champions League, went quite far in the Champions League, got to quarterfinals, suffered in the league a little bit. You have to be ready.
But how long do you keep saying that for? I think I'll be honest, mate. I think we've got having Pellegrini now is the big difference for us in Europe. He's played in Europe before, or managed in Europe before. Sorry. So I think that unless you can't sort of disregard the Europa League because we're not gonna unless we get in the Champions League. But then if we get in the Champions League, it's going to affect our form anyway. So I think Europa League is the next step for West Ham because it'll progress us and it'll keep key players at the club. Because these sort of people like Sebastian Haller and Fornals and Anderson, they want to play in Europe. They want to play in the European competitions, whether it's the Europa League or the Champions League. So it's about us getting there, and I think Pellegrini is the right man to take us forward.
Fat Shack 34, what's up, Nicky? One just joined the stream. Great win yesterday. Let's win our cup game on Wednesday and keep the momentum going. I can't wait for Dan's FIFA game prediction on Thursday. Fan of Dan's there. Listen, the cup game is important. We've got to have a cup run, in my eyes.
Yeah, and the League Cup is there for the taking, mate. It's a cup that we can win. We've got a good enough squad to win it. It ends in February, so it doesn't sort of affect your season that much. And a day out of Wembley, as Scott said, the League Cup is more for the fans. I think the FA Cup is a bit more, for the they want the big teams in the final, don't they? I think the League Cup is a day out for the fans. As you see in the FA Cup final, it's all corporate. So no, I think West Ham can do it, and it's going to be a difficult game on Wednesday, but it's a game we can win.
Forever blowing bubbles. We met him yesterday. If we want to finish 5th, 6th, or 7th in the league, then we have to play Europa League. He introduced himself about 45 times. This fella.
Yeah, I see. I met him. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, nice fella.
Nice bug.
You have to play Europa League. Yeah, well, to attract to better players, and I think if you want to get to that next level, you have to play it. It's just it can be a bit of a double-edged sword. Jim Clement says Diangana looking really good at the moment. I think he'll be a great player for us in the future.
He had a great game yesterday for West Brom.
Did he score?
Game. I don't think he scored. I think he set up. I see some highlights last night on Sky Sports News that I think they beat Huddersfield. They won 4-2, and he had a couple. So
he's looking mustard this season. I mean, Slavs. I don't know whether what Slav's doing down there, but he looks like he's he's got him playing some really good football. He'll come back a player, I'm sure of it. Darren Jenkins' thoughts on Fornells yesterday. Thought he had a good game. Once he learned, very split about Fornells yesterday. We'll talk about that. Once he learns the Premier is very different to the Liga, and you don't get the time on the ball, he'll improve. We'll see the best of him around February. Look, players have to settle. And he hasn't had a lot of game time. Do you know what I mean? And he came late in the season. He played obviously in the European Championships for Spain. And he didn't have a lot of game. He didn't have a lot of game time in pre-season. Obviously, he's going to settle. He's starting to take a little bit of settle. I thought he'd done okay. He didn't like the World Cup, but I thought he'd done okay.
Yeah, I thought he'd done all right, mate. I've got no complaints about him. As we said, he only started one game this season in the league against Brighton. Wasn't a great game for him, but I thought he'd done well yesterday. He come in for Lanzini. He started off a bit slow, but you can see his confidence grow. His confidence grew more in the second half. He got a bit more on the ball, but he looks like an exciting talent. As you said, he lit up the championships in the summer for Spain. So, more game time, more fitness, get more yourself a goal, more confidence, and he's going to be a good player for us.
Ray Salisbury says, did you see Oxford 1-6-0? Oh, God.
I said, yeah, but I didn't. Obviously, I ain't seen the highlights from it. But look, it's going to be a difficult game. Like, teams like Oxford, when they get a Premier League team come to them, that is their cup final. They want to get one over the big boys. So let's hope it's not us. Let's hope we go through.
WHUE video says, win a trophy, FA or league, or come second to fourth. What?
So
if you won the league, why would you want to come second to fourth?
No, if you win the FA or League Cup.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say.
Yeah,
that's what someone saying. Come first or come second.
Listen, I'd rather win the FA Cup than finish 10th, because the FA Cup is it's there for life. It's in your memories. It's a day out. You win the FA Cup, it's with you forever.
Yeah.
I'd take the FA Cup over finishing in Europe all day long.
Ibix P3 boy, you boys should go on the kickoff. They've never invited us, mate. And plus, we're at the games a lot, but the games we're not at, they never invited us on. I know Lawrence as well, the wanker.
I don't even know what the kickoff is.
That's a true Geordies thing. HCB Wrestling, the only reason teams suffer after qualifying for the Europa League is they don't have a good enough squad depth, which I believe we have. A couple of Pellegrini additions next summer, and we could be okay in Europe. Could be right there, mate.
I agree. Right. I agree, mate. I think we've got a good enough squad now. So I totally agree with that.
Gary Page was going to come over yesterday and call you Mickey on a fan cam. Oh, you can call me what you want, mate. No problem.
He's been called a lot worse.
Yeah. Matt Powell says, have you seen Mikel Antonio tweet his leg braces off?
Yeah, he's on a bike. He was on an exercise bike, so he could be back sooner. It could be back a lot sooner, which will be massive for West Ham and for Antonio.
Edward Denham, what's wrong with Lawrence? Ha 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 ha. Please explain, Nicky. I'm intrigued. Nothing's wrong with Lawrence. I like Lawrence. A lot. We speak not as regularly as I'd like, but we speak. But he's a nice guy, Lawrence. I was only having a little bit of jest with him. I'm going. Do you worry Antonio might rush back and be poor like he did last time?
No, I don't think Pellegrini will let him rush back. I think it's different when we have people like when Moyes was in charge and Bilic, because our squad wasn't as good as it was then. So we was trying to rush to get players like Antonio back. But I think he'll take his time.
Andy Wall says, when up Belgravia sponsoring the channel. Did you see that post that someone put on the did you see this earlier?
Yeah.
That was funny.
Yeah, it did look funny.
It was funny, yeah.
The thing is, though, I had my haircut last week, and I usually have it short up to about here, but the geezer decided to go all the way to the top.
Oh,
Lucky enough for me, my hair grows quite quick, so it ain't as bad, but I look like a Peaky fucking Blinder. half Peaky Blinder, half fucking, yeah. I don't know, it was nuts.
Bar's hand says, spoiled brats.
Who spoiled Prax?
I don't know. I think he's talking about Man United. Edward Denham, why are the team lineups still being leaked early? That's a good question.
I don't know. It frustrates the life out of me. I mean, some people are so desperate to be the first people to announce things, and it is frustrating sometimes. There's no more secrets in football now. So it's just the way it is, mate. I think some people just want to be the people to break the news.
What's that ego attack? A little bit, isn't it? We've heard things behind the scenes from certain people. You know, I remember one time to the little story about in the know. Like, I've never had that sort of desire to be in the know. You know what I mean? Like you know, we know ex-West Ham employees, you know, really well. I like ex-West Ham employee. Like, some of the stuff that gets leaked out, I'm a little bit skeptical about. And I've never been sort of someone to, you know, hide behind the fact that, you know, some of it I don't like. But ex-West Ham employees as a fella is okay. But if he don't know something or misses something, he gets fucking like caned, like absolutely caned. And that don't interest me. You know what I mean? And like, I've seen him and I've spoke to him before when he's been like at a restaurant with his family and things like that. And like, he can't concentrate on what he's doing because he's always got to be checking his phone and making sure people are updated and all that. Because if he don't, people like are just so expectant of it. And that life must be fucking awful sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, especially around the summer and that must be absolutely, I think he missed something once when he was on holiday in Ibiza. He didn't get the messages or something. And like, he just came fuck all that. Like, it's ridiculous. You know what I mean? VR Production says, why didn't we keep Marcus Brown? He seemed a very good player, had a bright future. Well, I don't know, to be quite honest.
I think we just have to trust Pellegrini on that one. He obviously made the decision, didn't he? So,
okay. Do you think this? Right, this is a good question. Do you think the stadium is starting to feel like home, or is it because we're winning at the moment?
Well, we sort of said this last season and a couple of seasons ago, mate. If you're winning at home, everyone's going to love it. Little things have made it feel more like home. I know people laugh, but with a claret carpet. I mean, when you walk into that stadium now, all you see is claret and blue. It's an eyesore. You see it straight away. It's much better than having that green carpet around now. And the atmosphere yesterday was loud. You know, it's good, and that's how it should be all the time. You know, when we're playing team. Saying that though, mate, it was just like that when we was playing Norwich at home. So it can, as long as we're winning, mate, it's gonna be the stadium's gonna feel a whole lot better. People
just won't moan, will they? That's the thing. Callum Bodyclimb says, "Do you think Anderson looks more comfortable with Masuaku behind him?" No, I don't. To be honest, I think he. I don't think it. Sometimes I get the same sort of feeling about Anderson, but I don't think it matters who's behind him. I think he decides when he's going to have a good game, when he's not, sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's down to him. I think it's his mentality rather than who's behind him.
Yeah. I mean, one person we haven't spoken about yet, Yarmolenko, yesterday. I thought he had a really good game, mate. I've seen a lot of people on Twitter slating him.
To be honest with you, he's my man of the match. Him and Noble, I couldn't sort of choose between the two. But when I look back at the thing, Yarmolenko, I think it wasn't just because he had a really poor game.
Well, the thing is, that's it. That's
On
2
Monday.
goals in his last 2 games at the London Stadium. So if he starts getting a little run of form of nicking a goal every other game or something like that, he could finish the season.
It wasn't just the goal though, but it was a shift he put in. He was the one. Like he was the one doing what I wanted Anderson doing, and that's trying to take people on, getting to the byline, and trying to get the ball in for Haller. That's what I want Anderson doing, because Anderson's got the pace to get round people. He's the one taking people on and all that stuff. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Yeah,
I thought he had a great game.
I thought he had a great game, and he's going to be an important player for us this season.
Yeah. That's a good question. Where's that gone? How many seasons does Pellegrini have left realistically, and would we replace him with when he retires? Worrying thought, knowing Pelly won't have long left. I think he's got as long left as he wants.
Well, how old is he? 66?
I don't know. He looks about 106, but I don't know how old he is.
No, I think he's about 66, 67. So he's got 3 or 4 years. As long as we're successful and we keep him, So, but who do we replace him with? I can't answer that question. Like, if you had to replace him now, you've got to look at people that are out of work. People will probably say Mourinho, or you look at an Eddie Howe or someone like that. But for me, I don't want to talk about Pellegrini at the moment. I think he's the right man for us at the moment.
Yeah. Game Right says 66, I believe. Andy Wall says I think he's 70. I don't know. Kent Hammer says 66 and Eddie Howe.
I just said Eddie Howe. I've been a big fan of Eddie Howe for a long time. I think what he's done at Bournemouth is unbelievable, and he's got a big future in him. He has got a big club move in him. I'm not saying Bournemouth ain't a big club, but I think Eddie Howe can take a step up and take that big club role. Maybe even the England job in the future.
I think he'll be the England manager one day. Let's start looking forward to the Oxford game. Somebody was asking earlier on if you think Holland will get a chance. I'm not sure, to be honest with you. I think there's players in the first team that need minutes, like Snoddy. Hopefully he does, because I'd like to see Nathan Holland brought into the thingy, but to the fold. But as I said before, I trust Pellegrini's. I don't see why he can't be on the bench though. He could, of course, he could be. Yeah, of course he could be.
Ben Johnson as well. You've got Connor Coventry.
Joe Powell.
Joe Powell. There's a couple of youngsters that could maybe get a chance. But no, I think it'll probably be like you look at Roberto coming to the team, Sabaleta, Balbuena, maybe Masuaku might come back in because he missed the game the other day. You got Jack Wilshere that will be crying out for a start. As you said, Snodgrass, a Yeti. We're still going to have a strong enough team to field. So we should go through, but I don't think it's going to be a comfortable night. It could be one of them nights where it goes to penalties or something.
David
like that.
Martin, Matt Powell says, I'm sure Roberto will want some time. I'm sure of it.
No. David Martin's he's a backup for a backup, basically, isn't he?
He's not here to play.
No,
he's not here to play whatsoever. Tenerife Hammers wanted to shout out. I see that earlier on, and I don't want to forget it because I see it, but I don't want to forget it. Would you keep Fabianski in goal? I don't know. Let's talk about Fabianski. Fabianski is proving himself to be better. To be honest, over the last 2 seasons, last season and the beginning of this one, I'd rather have Fabianski in my goal than De Gea, to be honest.
Yeah, Fabianski. I was talking to my mate today about him. He's unreal. I mean, that save he pulled off, I thought it was world class at the time, but when I watched it in a replay from Harry Maguire yesterday, the way he got across and he got down, and he is world class. And we spent £7 million on him. I've seen people spend over 40, 50 million pound on a goalkeeper. Look at that Chelsea goalkeepers. They spent 70 million on him. He's a bit suspect. And we paid 7 million for Fabianski. He's 32, 33. He's got a good 5 years left in him.
But the thing is, with the goalkeepers, they pay this sort of money, and they're sort of like the way that Liverpool and Man City and Chelsea are playing at the moment. They want them to be sort of extensions of the outfield, if you know what I mean. They want him to sort of have the distribution. Like somebody said, Fabianski's distribution's poor. I don't think his distribution's poor. He's a goalkeeper. He's a proper old-fashioned goalkeeper. Someone that when someone's going to take a shot, he's going to be in front of it. And
he's paid to keep the ball out of the net, mate.
Keep the ball out of the net. That's it. That's what I'm saying. Like the modern game is sort of looking at what the old term is, sweeper keeper and all that sort of thing. But that was Neuer's thing when he was considered one of the best in the world. But when you look at, I think it's even evolved on from them. You look at Edison and what's his name, Allison and Kepa and all that. They want them to be sort of more or less fifth defenders. The way they play the ball out. I want my goalkeeper to keep the ball out. You know what I mean? The net, and that's it. And if you want to talk about that, De Gea, they was talking about De Gea being one of the best in the world. Over the last couple of years, he hasn't sort of merited that for me. De Gea, it's for me. I think Fabianski is up there as one of the best. Simple as that.
Well, I think someone put something on Twitter today. I can't remember what who it was. But they put the stats, and it proves at the moment he's the best goalkeeper in the Premier League, stat-wise, this season. Shots saved and things like that. So,
Sofian Aftab says, who do you think is going to win the Ballon d'Or tonight?
Mark Noble.
Yeah.
I don't even know who's in it. It'd be Messi, Ronaldo, and
I think Van Dijk will win it.
Yeah, I think Van Dijk. I think Van Dijk deserves to win it.
Modric won it last year. He broke their little streak, didn't he?
That's what makes me think it's going to either be Messi or Ronaldo. So they'll probably end up crying. But
Messi's got a chance. I don't think Ronaldo's got much of a chance, to be honest. I don't think he was like his normal self last year.
As long as he's breathing, he's got a chance.
Yeah, he's good though, man. He's good.
Did you watch his interview with Piers Morgan?
I started watching it and then I turned it off. I can't. I don't like Piers Morgan, but I will watch it.
It's a very good interview, mate. I really enjoyed it. See a different side to Ronaldo, if I'm honest.
Fab's going on 35. Who would you like to replace him? Is he? There's still a few years left in him, yeah.
Yeah, goalkeepers can play until they're like in their 40s.
Mid-40s, yeah. Mark Noble for next manager after Pellegrini? ? Or is it better that we have him gain managerial experience elsewhere before that? He'll be involved in the club somewhere along the line. I'm sure of it. Mark Noble when he retires. I don't think he'll leave West Ham for a good few years yet. Even after he finishes playing. Could Dan beat Piers Morgan in a fight? What, our Dan?
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
He's a lummy, Piers Morgan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'll probably beat Piers Brosnan in a fight.
Jake Rumble, I gave Cresswell a coating last week and he scores. Maybe I should give him a weekly mugging off. No, praise him. He might even get better. Would you buy at Xmas? I wouldn't. That's a good question, because when, obviously, depending on how we're getting up until Christmas, one or two signings can upset the apple cart every now and then.
I think if we go into January with the squad we've got now fully fit, I don't think we need to add too much to it. I think we need another striker, and maybe just bring in another midfielder. But I'm like you. I wouldn't go out and get 4 or 5 new signings in January.
I don't think they will anyway.
No, I think we definitely need a striker, obviously, because Hernandez left the club. Bring in another striker, and depending on injuries, but if we're fully fit squad, I don't see we need to bring in that much. Why upset it if it's working?
Mm-hmm. That's right. Slightly, Mike Sherman-Brown still light up front and a defender and a speedy midfielder. Yeah, we do lack a bit of pace, but Jason says Silva's coming back soon. He's talking about Xander Silva, of course. Yeah. Marcus Archer -Mail says opinions on a Mandzukic link. Would he be a good foot, possibly pair with Haller? Do you know what? I was looking at Haller yesterday. he plays in a way. If he had a strike partner, what's that geezer called? Jovic, who he played with last year, signed for Real Madrid.
Yeah.
He was a great foil for him, and I think he likes to play up front with a strike partner as well. If he did, it'd bring him into play so much. Like if we had a smart player to play alongside him, I'd love to see a smart player play alongside him, like a proper goal scorer. Mandzukic he's a good goal scorer, but he's also a target man. I don't think he'd be the sort of player you want to see. That Jovic, however, he's not happy at Real Madrid. He's not happy at their. I've heard rumours that he's not happy at their. Him and Zidane have fallen out already.
I don't think anyone's happy at Real Madrid at the moment, are they?
Well, no, it doesn't look like it, mate. No, he's got a sort of a dictator sort of mentality going on there at the minute. I don't know. It just seems strange. Maybe if they're still having problems in January, maybe a little cheeky loan bid. You know what I mean? Like, come play with your old strike partner. I don't know.
Yeah,
you never know. There you go. Look, Ruben Blosch just says Jovic on loan in January. He's very out of favour at the moment. Someone like Callum Wilson would be a perfect fit with Haller. It's another 50 million quid that we just ain't going to spend on another striker, I'm afraid.
I'll tell you what. I hope he has a stinker on Saturday, Callum Wilson.
Yeah, so do I. Yeah,
I actually said this today, and you'd have said this 10 years ago, you'd never have believed it. But I actually think Bournemouth away is more difficult than us playing Man United at home.
Yeah, I said that last week, to be honest.
Bournemouth at the moment are flying, and it's going to be such a difficult game. And if we come out of that stadium with 3 points, we're going to have to work hard on Saturday to get that 3 points, because Bournemouth have got a goal scorer, and he's going to make our back four work on Saturday.
Definitely. I've got a couple of things to mention, mate. Somebody's put something in my Twitter. It's I don't want to bring the tone down at all, but I did say that I would mention it in my live show. A little while back, let me read the story for you. Sammy Sidholm was on his way back from a game on Monday, April the 16th. I think West Ham played. I don't know what year that was, but I'm sure I see that we was playing Stoke that day, and he was unfortunately stabbed to death on his way home from the football. They still haven't found the people. So I did say I would mention it in the live show today. So if you have any information on that, let me share my screen with you, because that would make sense. Let's share the screen. Screen share. Can you see that?
No, mate.
No, can't see that.
No. You trying to put the photo up?
No, I'm trying to put the screen share up. I'll put it up on our Twitter. Go and follow us on Twitter at West Ham Fan TV. It was cancelled, so it's not going to come up. But yeah, if anyone has any information, it was in Forest Gate. Sammy Sidholm in Forest Gate. There's a £20,000 reward for the captures of his or information that leads to the conviction of his killers. But he's a massive West Ham fan, coming back from the football. Never made it home, and a father has lost his son. So anyone got any information on that, please get in contact with the authorities. Very sad story, right?
Yeah. I remember that when it happened. I think you're right. It was after the Stoke game. It was 2 seasons ago, I think it was.
Yeah.
He was only was he 17, 18?
18,
yeah. It's no. I remember seeing his dad on the news, London Tonight, talking about it, and it's sad. No one wants to go to football and not come home. And to be fair, it was away from the ground, and he's just walking home after a game of football, and he's been attacked. So it's sad.
And at Shaky the Hammer, something a bit more upbeat. At Shaky the Hammer got in contact with me. He says he wished he could bump into us yesterday. His boy loves us, and he had the best birthday ever. So happy birthday to his son George.
Was that the? I see that. I retweeted it earlier. Was that the video with the little boy meeting all the players?
That's the one. Yeah.
Unreal. When I see things like that, it puts a smile on your face, because you see the reaction the little kid had. He's meeting his heroes, and I remember when I was his age meeting my heroes, seeing all the West Ham players at Chadwell Heath, and it's memories that you'll have for the rest of your life.
Yeah, when you're young like that, it's always lovely. What? Go on,
No, I
mate.
was to say that when you're young, you look up to them. They are your heroes. You know, they are.
Some of them
And
would do well to remember that sometimes, mate. I'll be honest. Some of them
yeah,
would do well to remember that sometimes. Let's take another comment. Darren Jenkins says, do you think Yarmolenko in behind Haller could work? He doesn't like tracking back to defend and will have that mindset to get up front. I'll tell you what, that finish yesterday sort of backs up with your theory, mate, that he's a goal scorer. He's a striker.
do you know what? He scored a lot of goals for his country and his previous clubs. And I think he could play as like we did with Antonio a few years ago. I think he could, if it come to it, he could play up role. He's a lump, isn't he? He's tall.
Matt Powell says, which player would you love to have a selfie with?
Don't know. I'm not really into all the probably Mark Noble. I've had a picture of him before, but yeah, I'd say Mark Noble because, or I could just have a selfie with the whole squad when they do their squad photo.
Yeah. Jason, as you said, Football Manager 2020.
Okay.
Okay.
We're in the advert.
We're in the advert for it, yeah, we are indeed. Yarmo has 1-2 record for his country and Ukraine club. Arsenal and Chelsea also getting better, says Backpack Pellet. They're both too inconsistent for me. Slimface says, why do we have to watch games on TV and listen to the pundits dragging on about the big teams rather than our performances? The whole of the United game, and I'm listening to how bad United are. Come here, mate. Come here. We're on straight after. We've got sort of instant match reactions and things like that, and we'll tell you how good we were. That's what this channel's for. Right, Ryan, I'm gonna have to start wrapping it up, mate.
Yeah. So, quick predictions for Wednesday.
Oxford. I think we'll win quite comfortably. I think we'll win 3-0.
Yeah, I think we're being for a difficult game. It's always them sort of games. The first 10, 15 minutes, the home team, the lower league team, is going to be up for it. So as long as we can get through that, get an early goal ourselves, yeah, I'm with you. I think it'll be difficult, but I can see us coming away with a 2-3-0 win.
Yeah.
Obviously, we ain't doing one of these on Thursday, are we? Because we're both out again.
Yes.
Gallivanting. So yeah, I mean,
my dog's locked itself in up the stairs. Idiot. There won't be one on Thursday. Might do something Wednesday because neither of us are going. We'll let you know on Twitter or social media. So as I said, go and follow us on social media, facebook.com/West Ham Fan TV, at West Ham Fan TV on Twitter, all around the social media. You'll find us all on there, West Ham Fan TV. I'm going to have to go, mate, because it's going to go fucking mental.
Don't forget, though, Dan and Scott are going to be there, so go and see them for fan cams if you're
there. Yeah, they're both going to be there. So if you go in Oxford, go and see them. One thing left to say, boys.
Come on, your eyes.
Come on, your
eyes. Go and sort your dog out.
I will.